It became very frustrating in the third and fourth season that I was sitting on the bench, and not because I felt that I should be starting over Roger. It was just frustrating that I wasn't playing. I was content because we were in the championships every year. I was playing for a great team. I was punting, so I was at least contributing. But it started to get old. And I can remember having several conversations with Coach Landry, and I think he appreciated the fact that I wanted to play.
Danny knew that I think he would have his time because Roger came in so late, 27 before he ever started, and he would end. And I think that had a little bit of a bearing on Roger's retirement. I think he felt, that Danny was ready.
White was both ready and able. In 1980, his first year as a starter, he broke the team record for touchdown passes in a season, while the Cowboys scored the most points in their history.
Stepping into the shoes of Roger Staubach is a very difficult situation, no doubt. I don't think there's anybody else could have handled it any better than Danny White. Because of his attitudes toward the game, because of the way he presented himself, he didn't feel like he needed to be a star. He felt like he could just step in and use the people around him to make him a better football player.
White went on to break many of Staubach's passing records, yet the Dallas fans remained unconvinced that Danny could ever take the place of Captain Comeback. White proved otherwise with his miracle finish against the Falcons in the 1980 divisional playoffs.
He was a different Danny White. He was commanding, he was demanding. It seemed like he got more vocal. It seemed like he was waiting for this one situation in his career. And now this is my opportunity to put the ghost of Roger Staubach in the closet where it belonged at that time.
Danny White with one running back. Here comes the blitz again. Danny back to throw into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! And Roger Staubach, who threw it through so many times, just turned around and said, "I don't believe it."
White led Dallas to 3 consecutive conference championship games, but each time the Cowboys were sent home in defeat.
Danny White was taking a lot of negative criticism about getting us over the hump back into the Super Bowl that wasn't justified. And it was other elements of the football team that broke down that prevented us from getting over that hump. It wasn't the quarterback. It wasn't Danny White.
The championship game in '82, when they beat us, and I was knocked out of the game by Dexter Manley in the second quarter, and yet I couldn't remember where I was, who I was, trying to remember some of the plays so I could get back in the game, and it never came back to me. But I can remember getting back to Dallas that next week and for that next offseason and feeling like the fans felt that I had let the team down. And there seemed to be a growing sentiment toward, Gary Hogeboom was the backup at the time, and we struggled through that in '83, and then in '84, Coach Landry called me in and said that he felt that it was in my best interest and the team best interest long term that he start Gary.
There was a poll in the Dallas paper that some of the players said they'd like to see Gary Hogeboom in the game. It led to a decision that Tom Landry should not have made. And here's a guy that quarterbacked 3 NFC championship games. That was the beginning of, I think, the deterioration with the Dallas Cowboys.
White eventually won his job back and played 4 more seasons before his retirement in 1989. Despite 5 playoff appearances and virtual domination of the Cowboys' record book, he remains in the shadows between the eras of Staubach and Aikman.
And I think he was a victim of his timing on when he played for the Cowboys and trying to fill in after Roger Staubach retires, and really, in my opinion, never got the credit that he deserved, because he had a fantastic career while he was here in Dallas and accomplished a lot of great things.
And I don't feel that I suffered at all by playing behind Roger Staubach. Now, maybe the history books will prove me wrong, but I didn't play the game for history. I didn't play the game to break records or to be remembered. I played the game to win, and it was a great career and a great experience.